Hey there. So in the last couple of days, while I was, surfing the internet, I saw loads of pictures from, I think he's called Kim Jong-un. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but it's North Korean, so I have no idea how to pronounce that. So I was seeing a lot of pictures from that guy, from Americans, and they were basically making fun of him, like, you don't have the power to attack us, you're just a little kid with your toy guns, and we are the Americans, you can't beat us. There was this one picture, there was this two giant boots, written with US written on the side of it, and there was this little figure. It was Kim Jong Un, however you pronounce that, and he had this little tiny toy rocket, and he was throwing it at the boot, and it just, landed on the boot. It crashed. It was totally broken. Nothing happened, and he was like, "Bam! Look at it! Look what I did." And it kind of pisses me off that the Americans think that, they should make fun of him. Don't get me wrong, I don't think North Korea is a real threat right now. They are just starting their nuclear weapons program, and, they're just trying to impress the Western world, basically. But, as I said, I don't think they're a real threat, but they have some kind of nuclear weapon potential. And I don't think that Americans really realize what that means. There was even one picture, I think it showed that that North Korea was actually nuking South Korea, I think. And there was this tiny American base, and they were just like, "Oh my god, are you serious? Now we're gonna show you." And they nuked the whole country. And two things are wrong with that. The first thing is, we are talking about freaking nuclear weapons. This nuclear weapons. You are using the most deadly kind of weapon ever. You can wipe out whole cities, you can wipe out whole populations with one of those bombs. So we are not talking about tiny toy guns. We are not talking about some kind of, I don't know, we are not talking about some lame missile or something. We are talking about nuclear warfare. That's just, can you imagine that? If the Nazis, for example, in World War II had nuclear weapons, they would have just nuked away the Russians or the British or maybe even the Americans if they found a way, to get that rocket over the Atlantic Ocean. But yeah, they could have nuked everyone, and they would have done it because they were pretty much insane people. So yeah, and now guess what? The Americans actually used nuclear weapons against Japan. They used it in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. But yeah, they used it there, and it was devastating. I think they killed 1 million people or something around that just with 2 bombs. And do you really want to have nuclear warfare? I don't want to be in World War III, because that could happen. If North Korea attacks any country, there is this possibility. I don't know which country he will attack, but there is a possibility that they will retaliate. That's actually possible. If they attack Russia, for example. I don't think they would attack Russia, but yeah, if they attack Russia because it's some kind of ally from the United States, we have to retaliate. So there will be nuclear weapons to North Korea. And maybe if we destroy North Korea, China will say, "Okay, you just destroyed a country we kind of liked." I don't know. I don't think the Chinese really like the North Koreans, but I think they are kind of close because they're both communist nations, basically. So yeah. What if they say, "Okay, you just nuked our ally, so we will nuke you now," and bam, we get global nuclear warfare. So yeah, do you really want to have that? And I heard Rings of Redemption, for example, say that America has the biggest and best army ever, but they haven't really fought a war in the last 20, 30 years. The last real war basically they had was in Vietnam, and they lost that pretty badly. And after that, Desert Storm, for example, that was not a real war, and I don't think they really won it. And the next one was Afghanistan and Iraq. Afghanistan, I think that country fell within a couple of weeks. It was basically pointless, and Iraq too. And in Iraq, still today, we have terrorism and stuff like that. There is still no peace in that country. Of course, they declared peace. The war is over, but it's still not peace. Yeah, and the second thing is, from the first point, it's nuclear warfare. The second thing is, it's actually people that die. Even if Kim Jong-un is the worst person on earth, if he's like the second Hitler, if you use nuclear weapons, millions and millions of innocent people will die. And that's just not what I want, and I'm pretty sure that's what no one wants. So yeah, I really hope this threat isn't real and they won't use their weapons. And, you know, I don't think you should panic, but you should probably not make fun of North Korea. And that was all I wanted to say. So if you enjoyed this commentary, let me know with a comment and a like. And that was it for this commentary. As I said, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm iLostLink, signing out.